So we are out here today in Arcadia Wildlife Refuge here in East Hampton, Massachusetts. And we've got the 4x5, as you guys can see. We're gonna be shooting some Provia 100F, some Portra 400 on the 6x9, and some Mummy 400 if we can get around to it. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently today, but it's gonna be a chill walk around with this beautiful sunrise and this wonderful fog bank coming through. Just gonna explore the meadows, see what we get. Slight overexposure, I think, is what I'm gonna end up doing. The image that I just composed is you get the beautiful fog bank in the background. You've got this trail that's sweeping over. You've got a lot of moisture on the plants, which is really, really nice. And you get this beautiful sunrise coming in with all these colors. But this is gonna lead me to my first point. We're shooting with Provia 100F, and we're going to cross-process it. And I know you guys are probably thinking, why cross-process such an amazing film? And this is where I defy the large format gods and say that I hate Provia. I don't like Provia, I don't like Velvia, and quite frankly, I don't like Ektachrome. So I'm a color negative boy, and I like black and white. Color positive, not my favorite. So I do have Portra 400 and I do have Mummy 400. So I'm just going to experiment a little bit with cross processing, which I haven't done in probably a year. So this seems like a good opportunity. Well, that's not good. As you can see, the front standard is sort of tilting in a direction, and I've trying to adjust it and it's not adjusting at all. It's staying sort of at an angle, and which means every single shot I'm going to take on this is going to be slightly askew, or the focus is going to be off. And when you're shooting large format, you're trying to find critical focus. You're trying to find a perfectly set image. I'm not going to waste sheets with that. So, and especially with this lighting, I mean, it's just gorgeous. I don't want to waste the day either. So I'm going to take out the 6x9 and shoot with that, calling it audible here. Going to put this back in the car and then walk further down the dirt road, as now we've got this beautiful light coming out. So haste makes waste. Let's get back to the car and sort some things out. All right, got the Fuji GSW. This is what we're gonna rock with for the rest of the day. So let's keep shooting. So the fog is creating this absolutely beautiful diffused look, and I'm really liking the dew on the grass. It's absolutely spectacular. And I'm trying to find like these spots where there's a lot of brush and there's some shadows and there's some kind of points of highlights, so that, you know, there's some contrast to the brushy areas. I really like that idea, especially where the areas where the brush has been sort of pushed over either by deer or by some of the tractors out here. But having a hard time focusing on that because my shoes are absolutely soaked. I mean, like, really, really, really wet. I was gonna wear my boots, but I was like, I don't think I'm gonna need my boots today. My boots are waterproof, but these sneakers are not waterproof, and I am very, very annoyed by it. And my feet are cold and they're wet. If you can hear them, I mean, like, there's water. So every step I take, I can feel the water coming up from the bottom of my soles. So not great, but there's people. I saw people way down that way, so I might want to go out that way and see if I can find some people to photograph. That's a Cartier tank knockoff. But I get out here at 5:30, and like I said, it's 7:05. And I don't know why I just keep checking. 7:07 actually, should be more accurate. And I just took my first portrait. It's a gentleman named Randy and his dog Biscuit. And he, like I've said before in other videos, I don't try to direct people on how to stand. But Biscuit wasn't really cooperating, and Randy just kept like holding up the leash trying to wrangle him in. But I'll probably crop that in just to have Randy in the photo, because I think Biscuit's face is just at the bottom of the frame. But it is what it is. First portrait out of the way, which is kind of nice. Didn't expect to get too many portraits, so good day so far. Let's walk into the Meadows a little bit more, see what we can find. And I will say that despite the issues that we've had at the start of the morning, and the cold really messing with my sinuses, we've persevered, my friends. We have persevered, and I think that goes a long way in making successful images, even if maybe they don't apply to anything or make it into anything. A lot of times I look at these videos as sort of small projects or small essays on specific locations or specific themes or whatever it happens to be that day. And one of the themes I think today is about perseverance. Came out here, intended to shoot 4x5, had everything set up, you know, shot my first shot, and then when I set up my second composition, I was like, why is everything not in focus? Why is everything not working? And realizing that my front standard had broke, had permanently tilted this way, because I think when I drove here, one of my tripods that I just placed in the back seat had fallen and hit the front standard, which luckily didn't break my lens, but I think did really mess up the front standard of my 4x5. And maybe this is just, you know, the universe telling me it's time to get a different field camera. I'm thinking maybe a monorail system. I know I might regret that. A lot of people do. A nice, you know, press camera would be fun, but they're just too expensive, and rail cameras are just so cheap, and there's just a lot more that they offer outside of mobility, because you don't have that with those. So maybe in the future you're going to see a new 4x5 on this channel. But today we've got this beautiful light, and one of the things that I've seen tremendous amounts of are spider webs. In fact, one of the ladies I talked to earlier today was like, you don't see these spider webs at all until you get the dew, and then all of a sudden you realize there's millions of them. And I've seen millions of spider webs today, and I've photographed probably about 5 or 6 of them. And I'm really, really happy about a lot of the images I've taken so far today, mainly because the lighting has just been so darn good. I just love the colors that we're getting. It's a little bit blue, and you get these nice warm tones coming in. Everything's starting to change slightly because we're getting into fall, so some of these greens are starting to turn a little yellow. It's my favorite time of year right now, and the next month and the next 2 months is really going to be absolutely unbelievable for photography. So if you're a fall photographer, I don't need to tell you, but man, this is just the best time of year to get out and shoot. And I'm having fun, so I hope you're having fun watching. Well, one of the things that I've been thinking about quite a bit, actually, it's a bug in my hair. One of the things I've been thinking about while I've been out here is one of my favorite artists, who's actually from this area. Her name is Barbara Bosworth, and I've talked about her in other videos. And one of the things that I love about Barbara Bosworth's work is that she's constantly finding ways to challenge herself and making really interesting compositions in different ways, whether it's creating one seamless panoramic through 3 separate 4x5 or 8x10 images, her work of macro stuff when it comes to shooting birds and wildlife, her black and white work with One Star and Dark Voyage, which I have not made a taking inspiration video on yet, but I absolutely love that book. And one of my favorite bodies of work by her is called The Meadows, and that's kind of what we're doing today. Is we're out here in the Meadows, not trying to be derivative of her work at all, but this is the area that I like to shoot. Love Northampton, love East Hampton. This is where I come out to find my creative spark very, very often. And when I do come out to these areas, I'm sort of hit with that sense of inspiration that I get from Barbara's work. And it's just absolutely unbelievable what she's been able to accomplish, and what these meadows sort of look like as the seasons change. It's just incredible. So yeah, just something that I'm thinking of as I walk around out here.